It's about to be a hell of a night.
Hey, yo, it's Title.
I'm Melissa Carr.
This is Ray Shrimmer.
It's Brian's World Live.
Are you ready? You know what it is.
Y'all turn up. All right, check. I don't even know if this is if this is working. Like, I feel like I always got it taken care of until it's time to do it. All right, but nonetheless, welcome to Brian's World Live. Had a little technical. I don't even want to say it. I'm not even going to say it because everybody calls them technical difficulties. So I'm not going to say that we had technical difficulties earlier. But I'll just say that we got it figured out. We are good. We are here. Happy Saturday to you. A little bit late, but, you know, it is what it is. Wishing you and your family health, wellness, and all of that, despite these dark times that the world is dealing with right now. All right, so fresh off the radio here in Baltimore, and I am completely ready for the next 24 hours of time. Now, let me take you back to a young me. I just put it like that. I was 7 years old, and I had my parents had bought me this. It was like a yellow duffel bag with like green letters on it, and I can't remember if they like bought the joint like straight out or if they like if it was like a gift or something from school. But I don't know. I now that I'm starting to think about it, I can't exactly remember which is which, but I do remember this particular time where, all right, hang on to your seats, man. I was about to run away, and I was thinking about running away or whatever, and I was real young. And, I put everything in the bag that I saw Michael Jordan put in the bag in Space Jam. Like, and it's like I never forget it, and if you're a 90s baby, you already know Space Jam is pretty much a staple when it comes to our lives. I mean, at least for me. Like, I loved it, man. If you don't like Space Jam, it's something weird about you. Like, let me not say that. All right, that's too much. All right, I'm just trying to get myself together. All right, so anyways, yeah, so Space Jam was pretty much a great staple into like all 90s babies, time or whatever, and Michael Jordan, for us is and always has been a titan, you know what I mean? And I specifically remember throwing everything in that bag, that the same stuff that he threw in the bag, just because, I don't know, I guess just because I looked up to him. I had no intentions of traveling to go play basketball anywhere. Like, I literally was just thinking about running away, but I put everything in the bag or whatever, and, obviously I didn't run away. It didn't happen. But looking back now as an adult and looking back on them times, man, we really used to show love to Michael Jordan. And I mean, beyond showing love to Michael Jordan, we really used to look up to him, and some of the things that he did on the court. And I think that one of the things that we always used to attach ourselves to, and we didn't necessarily know that this is what we were attaching ourselves to, was that vibrato, that leadership, that zeal, that passion that he had and that he played the game with, but the type of person that he just seemed like he was in his younger years. I'm not really speaking too much on who he is now, but Michael Jordan is a substantial leader to the NBA, but also a leader to us just as 90s babies. You know what I mean? So undoubtedly, man, like, tomorrow night is going to be fire. It's going to be crazy for The Last Dance. The Last Dance is going to be on ESPN tomorrow night at 9 p.m. I'm be coming from the radio station. Should be good because ain't nobody on the roads. At least they shouldn't be on the roads. But yeah, tomorrow night it's going to be crazy on ESPN. And what The Last Dance highlights, if you haven't heard, The Last Dance highlights the last year that the Chicago Bulls, the championship Chicago Bulls, were together. In the beginning of this year, the owner of the Bulls told, or not this year, the beginning of 1997-1998 season, the owner of the Bulls told Phil Jackson, yes, that Phil Jackson, the legendary head coach Phil Jackson, he told him that, look, man, no matter what you do, you ain't coming back, fam. That's it, And, when they told him that or whatever, the team pretty much kind of knew. it's kind of like that weird feeling, and from what the research that I've done on the docu-series already, it's just that weird feeling that, even Michael Jordan talks about, that he felt that made it so difficult, make this year so difficult, even though they accomplished so much, man. And that's why I say we're going to learn a lot from this, but hold on to it. We're going to get to it. So, so it highlights everything that team kind of went through in that year and still finding a way to win the NBA championship or whatever. So, Phil Jackson comes in at the beginning of the year and he says basically this is the last dance, and Michael Jordan says that what that did for him and the team is it helped them to realize the importance of having to finish the job. And that's something that, I don't know if maybe you struggle with. I know the chat ain't popping yet because we ain't, we just getting started with everything. It is what it is, just getting warmed up. But I know for me personally, that's something that I have dealt with, something that I have struggled with, and something that I would love to see how a championship team was able to fight through the idea and fight through them knowing that, no matter what, this is coming to an end. For me, I've never been able to really, it takes a lot of mental focus to do it, all right? But it's very difficult to block out the idea of the demise of whatever I'm participating in, I don't want to know that this is going to be over soon. I want to kind of ride the wave. It's kind of hard to go all the way and know that once you get there, it's over. It's just, I don't know, it's just difficult, And for this team, I could just imagine what they have went through, what they experienced, and the lessons that they learned that kind of helped them to no matter what, even though that this is the end, this is over for us, no matter what, they were still able to end out on top, with some of those guys, man. Some of those guys, honestly, those were the best years of their life. Actually, pretty much the majority of the team, those were the best years of their lives, best years of their careers. A lot of times, we kind of feel like, we kind of feel like we stumble into some things. We kind of feel like, I know for me, and it may be just because the passion that I have for radio and the passion that I have for, the different things that I do, every moment kind of feels like one of those, surreal moments where, if this were ever to be taken away from me. In fact, it was, I tell you all the time, what happened when I was in Indianapolis, when stuff gets pulled from you, you know what I mean? And beyond that, you don't even have to have it pulled from you. Just imagining it being pulled from you. So, it creates that anxiety sometimes. It just builds things up. And I guarantee it will make it difficult for an NBA team to grab a championship. You know what I mean? And it makes things difficult for us in our personal lives to finish strong, knowing that this is going to be the last lap. You know what I mean? So I think that whatever is in this docu-series is going to build us up in a way that we are able to look at the 1997-1998 Chicago Bulls and, pick apart pretty much the decisions that they made, the good decisions and the bad decisions, and, apply that to our lives and really continue, because their legacy already left an imprint and an influence on our generation already anyway. But I think that this is going to continue to push that and is going to kind of hone in on it or whatever. And I honestly think that when this happens tomorrow night, on ESPN, I think we're going to come out. First of all, we're going to want more. And the good thing is we're going to get more because there's so many episodes in this. I want to say it's 10 episodes, or it's 10 on TV and then 6 on on Netflix or whatever. But I just think that we just gonna come out of this better people. I don't know, just a better understanding of how important it is to finish the job. So Michael Jordan was on Good Morning America. I want to say that must have been Thursday, I think. Yeah, he was on Good Morning America on Thursday with the legendary Robin Roberts. Everybody loves Robin Roberts. And, he was just kind of talking about how excited he is about the piece and talking about some of the things that we can expect. And it just seems like with everything he was saying, it just kind of drew me in even, more and more. He called that year a trying year, like a tough time. You know what I mean? And I guess it's just kind of weird because sometimes when people are really going through like some great things or whatever, or put it like this, you could be going through hell, but look like you're having the time of your life, which is like what the Bulls did. I mean, and beyond looking like looking like they had the time of life. I mean, they got the championship, so it is a pretty good time. I mean, it ain't really too much to say about that. But they didn't necessarily look like they were going through what they were dealing with in the locker room. And I wonder if we're able to adapt, like even that small understanding. I wonder what will we be able to mute in our lives so that we can play the daggone game that we need to play. All right, I wonder what we can mute in our lives so that we can like do whatever the hell we want to do, or like what do we have to mute so that we can just completely focus on the mission and the goals and the things that need to be accomplished, like the tasks at hand. Like I wonder what we, can get accomplished if we are able to kind of mute things around us like the 1997 and 98 Bulls did as well. It was a trying time. It was a trying year. It's literally a quote from Michael Jordan. It was a trying year. And I guess the dynamics of it being a difficult year, but also being a championship year, I guess those dynamics, I don't know, I guess it's what makes it so difficult to attach to, but it also makes it so intriguing because it's one of those things that if you get to the bottom of it, once you get to the bottom of it, you learn so much. Just you have a deeper understanding right then and there. You know what I mean? It was two big moments that I really enjoyed on his interview on Thursday when he went on Good Morning America. And, it's moments that I don't think that, I don't want to be dramatic. I ain't going to sit here and say I ain't going to forget him, but I ain't going to forget him. You know what I mean? Hold on. Let me put something in the chat here just in case for, somebody to probably watch it back. But plus I want to kind of get used to talking on the chat because I think this is going to go. Let me say, what's up? Don't forget to watch The Last Dance tomorrow night on ESPN. I'm not going to say all that because I don't work for ESPN. I'm just going to say, don't forget to watch The Last Dance. I just want to chat. LOL. All right, we're good. And then I hit that button and it went back to my stuff. Okay. There we go. We're good. All right. So, Michael Jordan mentioned something that like I always kind of had an idea that this is like real, but for some reason when he brought this up, I was like, see, I told you. So he was on Good Morning America, and he was kind of talking about the moment that he became Michael Jordan. And it's crazy because when he first brought it up, I was like, what? Like, come on, bro. We all know you Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it. But then I got it, You see, when he was going around campus before he hit that game-winning shot at Chapel Hill, the one that kind of like catapulted his career into what it is today, when he was walking around campus, he was like, yo, they call me Mike Jordan. Mike Jordan was his name. Mike Jordan, walking around campus, you know what I mean? And he said that after he hit that game-winning shot for Chapel Hill, he was a completely different person. He became Michael Jordan. And then he kind of talked about how he stepped into his purpose and stepped into who he was becoming and how he did it forcefully and focused, you know what I mean? And he said when he went back to campus, from that point on, he was Michael Jordan. And it's just interesting to hear him talk about how he was coming into his own and coming to who he is today and the moments that it took to get there. Because, like, can you just imagine being, like, my parents went to school with Michael Jordan. That's the crazy part. And they would kind of talk about how, you would look back and be like, yo, I was sitting there with Michael Jordan. Like, I was in class with Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? Imagine being there like his freshman year, and it's like Mike Jordan. It's just somebody. Michael Jordan before he was Michael Jordan, before he stepped into his purpose or whatever. It's interesting to think about if we have stepped into our purpose already. And it's interesting to think about what we are doing to actively step into the purpose. You know what I mean? And it's even more interesting to see what the 1997 and 98 Bulls did to step into their purpose. And it's even more interesting to see how Michael Jordan stepped into his. And when he brought up the idea of him becoming Michael Jordan and what that has to do with the last year, his last championship year in the NBA. Because, I mean, there's some years between that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of time between that. Him bringing that up and bringing up those two dynamics tells me that whatever is in the Last Dance thing that they've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, whatever is in there, and it's in that gap of time of Michael Jordan becoming Michael Jordan up until the 97-98 Bulls winning their final championship, whatever is in there, there's a story about coming into your purpose. And and that's why I said, one of the two things that I heard on Good Morning America that made me want to step into that. You know what I mean? It made me want to check it out. Check out the whole docu-series or whatever, but really be in front of the TV tomorrow night as well. I'm trying to think because I put some other things in the article that I really wanted to highlight. Because I'm just a resilience, like anything that has any type of resilience in it, I'm tapped into. You know what I mean? So just the idea of how resilient the 97-98 Bulls were is something that I am inherently tapped into. And I think that it's going to be something that we can learn something from. It's going to be something that we can build from. So let's do this. I would like to, I don't want to just keep dragging on. I would like to, I guess once the chat gets popping and everything, then we can, really enjoy and really have a really good conversation. But the moral of the story is, hey, tomorrow night, The Last Dance will be on ESPN at 9 p.m. And when it comes on, I think that we're going to get a good understanding of how Michael Jordan and the Bulls stepped into their purpose. I think we're going to get a good understanding of the resilience, the focus, the drive that it takes to drown out the distractions of, I guess, whether it's demise, whether, coming to the end of like your particular project or coming to an end of a job or end of a team that you're working with, whatever. Whether it's, just drowning out all of that noise and understanding the pressures of all of this stuff coming to an end and still finding a way to get your hands on a championship at the end of it all. That perseverance, that resilience, that focus, that drive, I think that's what we're going to get from this, man. I think that's what we're going to get from The Last Dance tomorrow night on ESPN, all right? So I'm going to leave this on obviously on the channel so I can watch it and learn how to, just learn different quirks and figure out how to do this thing, how we want to do it. But you know what, though? What I'm really thinking about, really honestly, is really keeping Brian's World Live as the Saturday night show, but just updating different playlist, if you will, throughout the week, like with a different show or something. So I don't know. Give me a comment below. Let me know what you think about that. Hit me up personally if you know me. If you have some ideas or anything, I'm just trying to grow this with you. All right, baby. It's Brian's World. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Brian's World Live. You can hit me up personally at B James Live, and also make sure you like and subscribe. All right, peace. Who says peace?